So I just had a revelation about these evil people who seem impervious, who seem invulnerable, who seem, oh, I don't know how to say it, untouchable. That there is a supernatural force keeping them from the consequences of their actions. And them, those same people receiving the consequences of their actions will lead to those people being saved. So the very same power that these people have that's shielding them is shielding them from their own salvation, is shielding them from forgiveness, is shielding them from, you know, from being saved. That power, that power. They think it's for their benefit. It's not for their benefit. It's to their detriment. That power is the power that's keeping them from life. And they are under delusion to believe that power is theirs. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, because I'm speaking spiritual things to those who are spiritual. Those who are natural can't receive these things because to them, there is no spiritual. There is no supernatural. There's only what they see, taste, touch, and feel. But to those who have embraced the mystery, we know that there is something else. Uh, that that is a reality that shall uh, be realized by those who don't perceive its existence. Its existence. So back onto the subject of the power that's on these evil people, that we, the believers in Jesus Christ, who is the mystery of God, have had to endure from the moment uh, we got saved. That same power, and that's shielding them from life. That same power was shielding you from life at one point or another either. And I believe that it is our ministry, our job, our role to be behind enemy lines and to rescue those people for the power which makes them invulnerable to consequence. So, how do we do it? The weapons of our warfare, brothers, are not carnal. Hold on, I'm gonna show. This is found in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Brothers and sisters, and I want to highly recommend to all of you people who say that you are Christians that we need to become familiar with the scriptures. I want to say even to the extent that we are familiar with the anatomy of our own bodies. To the same extent that we are familiar with um, our own history, that Our true spiritual act of worship are engrafting these words that are in this book, in all the books that are in the Bible, making these words part of our DNA, part of our spiritual makeup, that when we take these words and we ingest them, that they become a part of us, that we are expressions of this book, brothers and sisters, and that we can explain spiritual things, you know what I'm saying, by familiarity, you know what I mean, of our experience of it's hard to explain these things, of the things that are declared in this book, which are a mystery to those who are lost, a mystery to those who are blind. But these things are revealed to those who have Jesus, who believe that Jesus was the Messiah, that he was the one that was ordained of God to bear the sins of humanity on the cross, being crucified so that we could be accepted to God and raised from the dead. That by accepting these truths, brothers and sisters, that we are able to declare and preach these things. But back on to what I was saying, that basically we're trying to pull people from the powers of darkness to the powers of light. And we have to understand that these people are under the grips of a spiritual entity which shields them with pride and arrogance to believe that the power that's shielding them from consequence is God and not the devil. And this is the stronghold of their mind, and this is what keeps them doing the evil things that they're doing, brothers and sisters. So we have to wage war against this, and I beg you, Paul says, that when I come, I may not have to be as bold as I expect to be towards some people who think that we live by the standards of this world. For though we live in this world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ, and we will be ready to punish every act of disobedience once your obedience is complete. Now, these are spiritual terms that I'm mentioning right now, and these are things that are hard to explain to those who are carnal. But if we are able to acclaim our true role as spiritual beings, that we will be able to strip the powers that hold these wicked people captive and deliver them from the power of the evil, and bring them back to fellowship with God and with Jesus Christ. I'm going to show you one more scripture, and I hope you get this. Is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. Continuing on in this vein, and even if our gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing. The God of this age has blinded the minds of believers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel that displays the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. For we preach is not ourselves, but Jesus Christ is Lord, and ourselves as your servant for Jesus.